You got in your car this morning, turned a key, pressed a pedal, and moved 40 miles an hour without using a single muscle. 100,000 years ago, that same trip would have taken 2 full days of walking, barefoot, through territory that could kill you. No road, no path. No sign telling you what's ahead. For almost all of human history, getting anywhere meant risking everything, and you had nothing to carry you there except your own 2 feet. Today, you can fly across the planet in a day. You can order something from the other side of the world and it shows up at your door. Movement is so easy now that it's basically invisible, but for roughly 300,000 years, every single journey a human being ever took happened at walking speed. And that one limitation shaped everything about how we lived, what we ate, who we married, and how much of the world we ever got to see. So let's start at the beginning. Your feet. Humans are the best long-distance walkers on the planet, but definitely not the fastest. A cheetah can hit 70 miles an hour. A horse can sustain 30 for miles. You top out at maybe 15, and only for a few seconds before you're gasping. Speed was never the point, though. You can walk 20 miles in a day, sleep, and do it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. You can do this for weeks. No other animal on Earth can do that. Your feet have arches that act as springs, and your Achilles tendon stores and releases energy with every step so your muscles don't carry the full load. There's a ligament running up the back of your neck that keeps your head stable while your body moves underneath it, and you have about 2 million sweat glands cooling you down while every other large mammal on the savanna overheats and has to stop. You're not built to be fast. You're built to never stop. In 1978, paleoanthropologist Mary Leakey discovered a trail of footprints in Laetoli, Tanzania. They were pressed into volcanic ash 3.6 million years ago. 2 individuals walking upright, side by side. The oldest evidence of bipedal walking ever found. And they look almost exactly like yours. For millions of years, that was the only transportation technology humans had. And somehow, it was enough to take us further than any species has ever gone. Starting roughly 70,000 years ago, humans began walking out of Africa. Not in one march. This happened over thousands of years, generation by generation, small groups pushing a little further into territory, which no human had ever seen. They crossed the Middle East, they spread across Asia, they reached Europe, they walked into Siberia, crossed a land bridge into Alaska, and kept going south through the Americas. That's roughly 15,000 miles, without knowing the destination even existed. And the thing that doesn't get talked about enough is that they weren't walking randomly. Archaeologists have found obsidian tools hundreds of miles from the nearest volcanic source, shells found far inland, amber traded across mountain ranges. These people were covering massive distances on purpose, to trade, to connect with other groups, to find specific resources they knew existed because someone had told them about it. This wasn't wandering, this was networking, on foot. The problem is, walking works great until something gets in the way. You can walk across a desert, you can walk over a mountain pass, but a river stops you in your tracks. And rivers were everywhere. They cut through every migration route, every hunting ground, every trade path. For hundreds of thousands of years, a body of water was basically a wall. You either found a shallow crossing or you turned around. And then, somehow, humans figured out something no other land animal ever has: how to cross water on purpose. In 2003, archaeologists working on the island of Flores in Indonesia found stone tools dating back roughly 800,000 years. The problem is that Flores has never been connected to the mainland. Even during the lowest sea levels of the ice ages, there was always at least 12 miles of open ocean between the island and the nearest land, which means one thing: someone made the crossing. We don't know what they used. Wood rots, bamboo decomposes. Whatever they floated on is long gone. But the tools are there, which means the crossing happened. The first boats were probably nothing. A fallen log. A bundle of reeds tied together. Not designed. Discovered. Someone grabbed a floating log to cross a stream and didn't drown. That was the breakthrough. But what happened next was deliberate. Around 65,000 years ago, humans crossed from Southeast Asia to Australia. That crossing meant sailing at least 60 miles of open ocean. You can't see Australia from the other side. You can't drift there by accident. Someone built something that could float, pointed it toward water they couldn't see across, and paddled. Think about that for a second. They left solid ground with no idea if there was anything on the other side. The oldest boat we've ever found is the Pesse canoe from the Netherlands, about 10,000 years old, just a hollowed out log. But the technology goes back way further than that. People were already living on islands. They had no way of reaching on foot tens of thousands of years before that canoe was ever carved. And then the Polynesians did something insane. Starting around 3,000 years ago, they crossed the Pacific Ocean, the largest body of water on Earth. They built double-hulled canoes, loaded them with food and animals and entire families, and sailed thousands of miles reading nothing but the stars, the direction of ocean swells, the way birds flew, and the color of clouds near land. No compass, no map, just observation so precise it still impresses modern navigators. They reached Hawaii, Easter Island, New Zealand, every habitable island in the Pacific. Some of those voyages covered over 2,500 miles of open water with nothing in between. Walking conquered land, boats conquered water, but there was still a problem nobody had solved. You can walk 20 miles, but you cannot walk 20 miles carrying a 200-pound animal you just killed. For most of human history, the limit on transportation transportation wasn't distance, it was weight. You could only move what your body could carry.